community voices, we have a community snapshot. That's when we have someone in the community tell us how great this place is and why they're here. And normally we have a great little video because we have a young lady named Janet Kollmeier who does those videos. Well, this morning we get Janet live.
I am Janet Kollmeier, and I've been coming to the center since 2004. Michael Gott was my introduction to the music, to the new thought, music, lyrics, the eloquence of those chants. I just loved them, and I've never heard them before. And I wanted to sing again. I hadn't sung in a long time, and Michael helped me overcome my fears. So I came here, I sang a little. Then my job got really intense, and I got a boyfriend, so I disappeared for a year. And I came back in 2006. Now, when I came back, Michael and Lainey gave me a chance to sing on Sundays, and I took it, and I ran with it. And I have to say, it's been my great privilege and pleasure to stand up here on stage with the rest of the music team and lead you in these amazing songs that just go right to the heart, combine the mind and the emotions, and then just go right in. And also, it's been my reward and my greatest blessing to be a part of this community and to have access to these teachings and to the people here. Now, when I came here, I was fairly wounded. I had lost my job, and after 30 years in the working world of being a complete workaholic, working 60 to 80, sometimes 100 hours a week, I was burned out. I was just burned out. And I knew that I wasn't eager or strong enough to get back in the rat race, and I knew that I had to change my thinking so I could attract better people to work with and better things around me and better products to sell, if you may, things that I cared about. Also, I wasn't singing, hadn't sung in many years, and I thought basically that I was done. My spark was gone. I couldn't find inspiration. Except in one thing, I never ever lost my overriding desire to seek spirit and look for God and look for truth. I've been calling myself the purple sheep of the family since I was 14. My brother took the black sheep position, and that's fine with me, but I was the spiritual seeker. It's not something that my family as a whole shares, so it's always been important to me, and that's what's kind of been my common thread. So I sang here, you know, I want to say this because somebody after the first service said that I changed their minds and they decided to take foundations now instead of later. I sang here for 2 years and came every Sunday and listened to the sermons and didn't take the foundations because people would come up to me and go, "Oh, it'll change your life." And you know how many seminars I've taken that were supposed to change my life? I'm a seminar junkie. I'm an eternal student. I've been a spiritual seeker since 14. I mean, I find ways to go. I find places to go, and spiritual groups find me. So if you can name some spiritual study, I've probably done it. All the way up to Ascended Masters and the Urantia Book and ETs and the whole 9 yards. But foundations, I finally took it twice. Needed it twice. Took spiritual practices twice. You know what? It changed my life. It's the first time I ever wanted to say that about a seminar and actually, you know, make it real and not a catchphrase. Now, with the help of this community, I've pushed through my resistance issues, my trust issues, my judgment issues. I've stayed much longer than I thought I would, and I've gotten more involved than I had planned to ever again, especially as a volunteer. And now I know when the world is going crazy, I can come here and I can get perspective, and I can get healing, and I can find somebody who can hold my truth for me when I'm stuck and I can't find it. I especially want to thank Petra, Michael Gott in absentia, Lainey, and Veronica, who I don't think is here today, and Dick Williamson, all who have been my guides and catalysts for change and have seen the worst and the best of me and are still here, and so am I. Now, I believe, let me see, I think I'm going to skip that part. There's a very important thing that CSL has gotten me that I haven't gotten anywhere else. The seminars, the books, the classes, the groups, all of it, they were fabulous information. But they didn't give me the tools that I needed to transform my life. It was like taking this perfect frosting on top of a stale cake, or building a house on a cracked foundation. All the good information in the world isn't going to help if you can't fix the programming you got, the family issues, the mother-daddy issues, all the stuff you've accumulated. If you just keep throwing good info on top of that, it doesn't really change. And you can take self-help seminars and you can take spiritual seminars, of which I did both. But this is the first one I found that connected the two in a way that brought God into transformation, that brought God into co-creation, and really, I was in alignment with the view of God, and I was in alignment with the view of how I wanted to change. And this place really kind of brought it home for me. And I watched other people, too, over time change. And I have to say, in 2011, I shot the community snapshots that you've seen, and we're going to do another round, by the way, so I hope you'll queue up. And as I shot these things, you know, what, a year ago now or more, I was listening to these people, some that I knew, some that I didn't know well, and they're telling their stories, and they're just like, they're amazing people. I was blown away. Different paths, different backgrounds, different histories, different uses of the tools, but they got results, and they had transformations, and they were able to speak about it in just this rock-solid way that you believed in. And I felt like God was tapping on my head going, how much information do you need before you start really doing this yourself? What's it going to take to get you to start applying it? Do you see now that it's not just theory, it's not just a book, it's not something you'll do later. You've got to start doing it. So I was motivated, and I did. Started opening up to people, getting help when I needed it. And I've met some amazing people at this church who are helping me today. So basically, everything I've said is because I'm grateful for these people in this community and for the continuity of it, and knowing that you can be here through the ins and the outs, and I've had both, and you've seen them. We won't talk about whether I'm in or out right now. And, you know, 2 steps forward, 1 step forward, 2 steps back, all of that. To be able to stay here and work through that and know that it's going to be okay and that I'm going to be loved anyway is just so important. By the way, for 6 years, I've had to go to choir practice right after church. So if anybody ever asked me to lunch, I was like, can't do it, can't do it. I enrolled everybody in me not being available for lunch. Well, now choir practice is on Thursday nights. And so I can go to lunch. And I just want to let you know that I'm here and I'm available. I'm talking about every Sunday, and I'm a public speaker, I'm a singer, but I'm a little shy one-on-one, and I am a little reluctant to reach out, and I know that. So I'm just putting it out there, an invitation. Ask me to lunch, and as God says yes to everything, I will say yes.